Good morning, everybody. Well, it's pretty in pink or passionate in pink, passionate in pink. Can't get my words together. It's a Friday morning and it's the 8th of January. This is video now, I think 104 or more. Now I've got a request first. Now, I'm doing my live videos now 3 times a week. I don't think I'm going to do the daily ones that I did at the March lockdown last year, but we're going to do it 3 times a week on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So, I want you to send me or private message me the name of what or the title that you'd like me to talk about. So, to match the first letter of the name of the day. So, Monday would be like Mindful Monday, Wednesday, Wonderful Wednesday, or whatever. Now, if I choose your title, you'll get 1 hour free mentoring coaching call with me. So get these messages coming in. So there's still so much negativity around, excitement about the vaccine, but then delays and confusion. Everybody's still anxious and stressed. So I decided to mix things up a bit. I've discovered from feedback, first of all, and I'm not going to name and shame because I don't think these people are alone. I've had feedback on my ABC that the technique, the B, which sounds the simplest, that's the breathing, is in fact the hardest to do. And I spoke to some people who do yoga and Pilates and physical exercise people who are told about this technique, the effective breathing technique, but they still say, oh, they found it difficult to do, so they don't bother. But in fact, it's absolutely vital because it increases your lung capacity. And as the virus hits your lungs, it's really important that you do everything you can to increase your lung capacity. So this is a bit of marketing here because I took time to do meditations, mindfulness meditations, my mind bites on each of the techniques A, B, and C. So there is one on how to breathe effectively. Now I know it means you're buying it, but I don't know, I've put the price as cheap as I can, and they're not expensive. And if you value your health at all, really you should be trying to do this effective breathing. And of course, if you join Mind Circles community, then I hope and I regularly try and give discounts and you get notice of other events. And I know you value the regular videos, and I thank everyone who supports me already and buys my books and my products. So for today, I call it Passionate Friday, not because I'm going to talk about how to be passionate as such, but I'm asking you to find your passion for life. Why? Because when you find your passion and your purpose, you keep in touch with the magic of everything around you. It's also vital to be as positive as you can. So I want to offer you ways of doing this. As is often the case when I'm thinking about what to talk about, I've got so many thoughts whirling round my head, and my head sometimes feels as if it's going to explode. But when I feel like this, something incredible usually happens. And it did. I came across a talk by Janine Shepherd. She's an Australian motivational. She's so inspiring and motivational. She's Australian, and she has experienced all types of pain. She was a cross-country skier, but and her nickname was Janine the Machine. But getting ready for the Olympics when she was out cycling, and this is way back in 1986, she was hit by a truck, resulting in life-changing injuries. Now, the words that struck me in this talk was, obviously her dreams of being a cross-country skier were gone, but what she said in the talk was, she said, a broken body does not mean a broken spirit. So the body may be limited, but the spirit is unstoppable. So just remember that. The body may be broken, but the spirit is unstoppable. So as I listened to our talk, I wanted to inspire and motivate you and to help you find your passion and purpose. To do this, you need to understand the power of your mind. And you can go back and listen to my episodes about this, my live videos. They're all on YouTube. I share them again and again. So please go back and just randomly choose one you want to sort of look at, and you will find something there that is appropriate for you at this time. Now, I know Janine's the extreme example of pain in all its forms, but she shows that with a positive frame of mind, your spirit is unstoppable. Having experienced many challenges myself, as you all know now, that the worst was the loss of my son to suicide, but I know that my ABC, these techniques, proven psychological techniques, help me every day. And of course they help me build resilience and give me the courage to change the way I think and act. And you can do this too. I'm fortunate that I've always been positive and I use my creative mind, but this time round the lockdown has hit, I think I said that yesterday, it's hit our Wednesday, it's hit people harder than ever, and I think it's because the weather's a bit dreich. That's what we call it here. It's kind of down, it's a bit sad weather. And today's a wee bit better because we've had snow, some people have had snow. Now it's not better to go out, but at least it brightens up the when you look out, it looks all white rather than grey and dark. But you've got to be careful because you can't go out walking. It's icy, the roads are slippy, and of course, speaking to my sort of elderly people that I know, the ones in their 90s, they're finding it hard because they can't sit outside, read a book, or just even walk to the local post office or something. So you can still be a positive person and creative person when you use the ABC. And remember, the C is using your creative imagination. Now, we've heard it before and we'll be hearing it again. Oh, we're all in the same boat. But we're not. Remember, we're not in the same boat. We're in very different boats. We might be in the same storm, but very different boats. And even within these different boats, every individual will experience the situation and the challenges of life differently. It breaks my heart to hear about the mental health issues and suicide skyrocketing. I wish I could take away everyone's pain and prevent all these suicides. I don't have that magic wand. All I can do is help you find the magic by giving you techniques to allow you to find your passion and purpose. And hi Helen, thanks for watching. So if you do find your passion and purpose, you will find magic in whatever you do. So the techniques, well, they're my ABC, as I've said before. Use them regularly. Make them your good habit. Now, a couple of quick tips, and I often mention these, is the first is smile. It costs you nothing, but you'll immediately feel better and you'll cheer up those around you. You should even smile when you're on the phone or even when people don't see you. And I think that some of the masks, I was saying to somebody the other day that you maybe can't see when people are smiling. And she said, oh, you can sort of see their eyes. So it's the same when you don't see someone on the phone or you don't do the Zoom call. You still feel that smile. It's amazing. So I remind myself to smile when I'm talking to you. And I've got a fabulous chap, Eddie, in the recording studio, Stealth, where I do my Mind Bites, and he always reminds me to smile. So a shout out to him. If I forget, he goes, stop, you weren't smiling. So that's what makes my Mind Bites meditations, my mindfulness meditations, so special to me and everyone who uses them. The second tip, again, it's free, is laugh. Laughter is the best medicine. I was given a book many years ago called Laughter is the Best Medicine when I was working in California. I was a nanny to a top consultant radiologist, and it was called Laughter is the Best Medicine. And I never forgot this message. And wherever I can, I find something to laugh about. And I know that there's humour in everything. And even when I was writing my book about the pain of the loss of my child, I did bring humour into it. Some of it black humour, but we need something to laugh about. So try and do that. It's free. So when feeling low, in fact, go back to Wednesday's video when I said some of the creative exercises you can do yourself or with the children. So when you're really feeling low, and for whatever reason, the most effective way is to smile and laugh. Find something to laugh about. They're magic tips, and you immediately feel better. No matter what life throws at you, find that funny moment. Other life-changing tips are: don't stress about things outside your control. We can't control everything. How you react to stress has more impact on your overall well-being than the actual stress itself. And remember, life is ever changing, and you'll cope better if you accept this. You need to decide how you'll respond to change. I also remembered, I read quite a bit. I like Viktor Frankl. He was experienced and survived the concentration camps. And he said, and I like his phrase here, he said that it is through a search for meaning and purpose in life that you endure hardship and suffering. And of course, that I know, again, that's an extreme example, but of course there's the word purpose again. So I repeat, find your purpose, find your passion, because when you do, you feel the magic. I maybe should have called this Magic Friday, because we are needing a bit of magic just now. When you use the ABC and they become your good habit, they help you accept that change happens, and you find that you have freedom to decide what you want to do next and how you want to view change. So with courage, you can move out of your comfort zone. So ask yourselves, excuse me, I'm getting excited now. I often say to people, when I get excited, I talk faster. And I used to say to my students, if I'm doing that, put your hand up so I know to slow down. So ask yourself some questions and answer them honestly. Are you the glass half empty person, or even empty? If you're that kind of person, you need to get rid of that. If you're with people that are like that, you need to, no, maybe not dump them if they're your partner. You need to remove yourself from them and their negativity. Are you always thinking and saying, oh, what if, another thing? You need to stop that. Do you feel physically uncomfortable, and so you're tired, you're tense, you're anxious, you've got stomach pains? Well, if you're answering yes to any of these questions, you need to change your thoughts and behaviours, because they are negative and they damage your emotional, psychological, mental and overall well-being. Let go of the negativity, and you can do this through the A technique. That's my affirmations. They're positive statements. Hi Billy, thanks for coming on. They're positive statements, and I call it using my 3 Ps. That's the personal, the positive and the present tense or the past tense. I've talked about that frequently over the last year, and it's really important, the 3 Ps, because particularly the verb, because if I ask people, what would an affirmation to them be, they might go, oh, I'm going to do, or I will do this. That isn't how successful people, or think of athletes. They don't say, oh, I'm going to train and I'm going to win the gold medal. They actually visualize them holding it. So their affirmation is, I have won. I have that medal. So you need to have that kind of mindset. So today it would be, I am positive. I am passionate. I have my purpose, my passion for life. And the magic about this is that you don't even need to believe it. You just say these things in your head. Don't go about saying them out loud, or your partner or people around you will be going, they're a wee bit mad perhaps. So you'll feel better though in yourself. You can't help it. Try it now. Just practice doing it. I mean, just even if I say, oh, I am positive, I feel my whole sort of being getting a bit more confident. The B, that I've talked about it earlier there, it's just such a magic tip. And I didn't realise how, not important, but how difficult it was for people, because if I said to you, the effective breathing is to breathe in through the nose from the diaphragm, and you hold your breath, and then you exhale through your mouth. Now, I was practicing, I was in a talk, not a Zoom call, but just a telephone call with someone, and I said, how are you doing? She said, I breathe in, but I can't hold the breath. I can't say, how are you breathing in? Now, if you do it just now, just take a breath in through your nose. Now, I wonder how many people find their stomach area, their diaphragm, going in or out. It should be going out. And that's kind of counterintuitive. So when you're breathing in, it's like blowing up a balloon. It's not, and where you often pull up your shoulders and pull your tummy in. That's shallow breathing. And really, that is not effective breathing. So head on over, have a look at my Mind Bites video on breathing effectively, or how to breathe effectively. You can do any time, any place, and it calms you, it relaxes you, but more than that, it's increasing your lung capacity and it's giving you energy. That's the most important thing. And I think it certainly has stood me in good stead. And even my daughter was saying to me, I find it so difficult, and it's easy for you because you've been doing it for years. But anything that's good for you, you have to start, you've got to practice and make it something you do regularly. Now, I talked on Wednesday, I've talked before about this, and I don't know why it hasn't been repeated, but when the lockdown in March came, I remember a consultant and a nurse showed people exactly what to do with breathing, and he was showing you how to breathe in through your nose, but it was to the count of 10. Hold for the count of 10, and then exhale slowly to the count of 10. Now that is very difficult to do. So I suggest you start with, I do it to the count of 3. So try and practice that. And you will find a difference. And of course, if you feel anger rising or anxiety, when I say just take 3 deep breaths, that's the kind of breathing I mean, not this, that's the shallow breathing. So it's now I'm not moving my shoulders at all or my chest area. And you can't see me, and I won't sort of stand up and do it just now. But, it's from my lower diaphragm. So imagine this. And I mean, some people are just natural at it, but I think the breathing seems to be the technique that sounds the simplest, but is the more difficult to do. So the C, of course, is another tip, and that's referring to creative imagination. And of course, Wednesday, we did the Creativity Wednesday, and I showed you some of the things you can do to be creative. And, people will go, oh, I'm not creative, I can't draw, paint, etc. But I don't mean this, you don't need to have that kind of creativity. I mean using your mind in a creative way. And it's thinking out of the box. It's why I developed my Mind Bites meditations, because I've got the safe place, the candle flame, the floating clouds. It's taking you to somewhere that you can just imagine, somewhere wonderful, and it's got relaxing music and my calming, relaxing voice. Well, I hope it is, my smiling voice. So when you use these, you will feel better, you'll make better decisions and better choices. Now, of course, emotions, whether your emotions are negative or positive, they're important because they help you decide to be flexible, how to be flexible. You need to learn to know the difference, of course, between your negative emotions and your positive emotions. And your negative ones are like anger, frustration and fear. And these lead to stress. Now, you might think, I've got to avoid these negative emotions. But they're part of your experience. You can't avoid them. What you can do is identify them. And when you identify these, you can then learn to manage them. So it's not avoiding them, it's learning to manage them. Never let negative emotions destroy your life, your relationships, or increase stress. And managing your negative emotions means accepting that you're feeling them. And when you do this, you learn to control them so they don't overrun your life. Of course, again, the negative emotions, how can they be managed? Using my ABC. They're really 3 simple tips, but so difficult to do because you don't do them regularly enough. So again, I repeat, if you're feeling angry or anxious, just take stock, take that minute to do the deep breathing, breathe in. And I talked about it last year, talk about it often if I'm giving my talks. The O.J. Simpson trial, all these years ago, the prosecutor was getting really anxious, excited, frustrated, angry. And what did the judge say to her? Take 3 deep breaths. And you can't do anything else. So if somebody beside you is even getting, angry, and it's a difficult thing, because when we're in lockdown together and with the best of relationships even, you will get annoyed with each other. And when you feel anger rising, don't rise to the bait if somebody's getting angry. Take yourself off. And I've talked about it before, repeat it. Go to the little room, just go to the bathroom, lock the door, sit down and just affirm, do an affirmation. I am calm. Your deep breathing, and just imagine yourself in a safe place or wherever you'd like to be. And today I'll be doing the candle flame, which helps you to sort of focus. Now, it's also important when you're changing your mindset to positive, you've got to be self-aware. Lots of people think, oh yes, I'm aware of myself. But in fact, it's a very difficult thing to do. You have to be aware, fully aware of your body and your mind. And to do this, you need to challenge your beliefs. Are they yours? Are they someone else's? I mean, we've all been conditioned in the past. From the moment we're born, you're somebody's sister, you're somebody's son, somebody's child, somebody's, you'll be called maybe lazy, you'll be called, oh, you're the stupid one, stop being so stupid. All these things come back to you, even the ones which are positive. Like, why can't you be as clever as your sister? Now that's bad for you, but it can be also bad for your sister, because she then perhaps pushes herself beyond her capabilities, because she thinks, I've always got to be clever, I've always got to be clever. So all these labels impact on you, and you need to start thinking, is it how I feel? Or are these my beliefs or someone else's? And I've talked about these before, and you can go back and look at the episodes on YouTube. I share it on YouTube, all these videos. And you even get a laugh as to perhaps how I'm looking, how my hair is. But I've cracked it now. This is getting so long, I'll be able to almost put pigtails in, I think. And then it'll stop going in my eyes. So browse my website and find maybe some of the mind bites that you would like to use. I also recognise that people need to be motivated. When I talk to, now some people are self-motivated, and I can be self-motivated, but maybe not all the time. So how many people have maybe a gym, an exercise bike in their house or something, and you go, oh, that's fantastic. So do you use it every day? I've got a friend said, no, it sits in another room. So the people who find it difficult at that, fortunately, some of them will be able to afford it, but they have personal trainers. And that's why I think the personal trainers on the websites over the last year were so good. People were tuning in. So I'm hoping to do, like, be your personal mental trainer by having maybe Zoom calls or doing something that's interactive to keep you motivated. Now, I would love to offer these things free all the time, but if you join my Mind Circles community, you'll hear about what I'm hoping to do with these, because I really think it's going to be important. And I'm going to do a free Zoom call to explain to people what maybe an introduction as to what I intend to do. But I would follow my wellbeing series, which is like 10 books. Now, there will be a monthly subscription. I'm hoping it to be about £11.99, or you can pay for a year. For that, you would get all the wellbeing series of books. So that's another wee kind of marketing here, but I need to kind of highlight how important it is for your health. And I think you do need someone. And of course, if you give me a title for the next one, you will get 1 hour of my time to talk about anything you want. It's confidential, and it's like a mentoring or coaching hour. And I'm happy to do this. So send in your titles, message or private message me. And if I use your title, you get that hour. We arrange it that's suitable for both of us. So when you use my ABC, you will find passion and purpose. And remember, of course, to have your achievement board or your inspiration board. I'm hoping, I talked about that last year on these daily videos. I hope you've still got yours. I've got mine. It's on, it's actually beside on a shelf up there, but I know it's there. Look at it and just praise yourself, encourage yourself, and say, this is absolutely fantastic. Now I'm going to actually take time to wave. I don't know what these things mean, but we'll wave and click, wave and click, wave and click. I'm not quite sure. I looked before, but I think it allows people to come on camera or something. Anyway, so looking inwards to yourself, of course, can be scary. So you need to have the courage to do that. We've all got flaws. I've got probably many more than many people have, but you've got to be brave. And I look at the negatives and the positives, and I think, right, I know what I've got to deal with. And then I use my affirmations, to keep myself. I am brave. I have courage. I am positive. And of course, we've seen lots of courageous people over the last year who've taken up new hobbies and found a talent they didn't know they had, and then shared. And of course, that's really courageous, sharing on social media. And don't judge some of these people. I mean, even if the singing isn't very good, they've been proud enough to do that, and it inspires and motivates people. And I find that when even having you watching and listening, it inspires and motivates me as well. So I recommend, again, please look at your inspiration board. If you don't have one, start one now. It doesn't need to be words. Cut up images from a book. Get the children to help. Get them to start one themselves. Because by doing this, you're identifying your interests and you will be inspired. Another tip, of course, is physical exercise. Now, I'm not talking about the marathon. I've got so many friends who are doing, I think my daughter's doing, I've done 4K today, 5K tomorrow, 10K. I make them laugh because I say, I follow them and I do these in my mind. So I keep fit, a short exercise walk. You need better still if you can walk outside, but watch the slippy roads. But it gives you energy, it boosts your mood, and you'll feel better and more able to cope. And when you walk outside, nature actually gives you a different perspective of life. And, you just find new ways of looking at things. The other thing is, don't keep going over and over why you're suffering pain, why looking at the past, we have to reflect on the past, but move forward. You can't undo the past, but you can change how you view the past. And again, some questions you can ask yourself are, what can you do now in a positive way to move forward? What control do you have over a situation? What resources do you need to help you move forward? And I don't mean just material things. The resources for creativity can be a simple pen, paper, a bit of paper, or just having someone there to talk to. So one of your to me, one of the go-to resources that I have is my ABC. 3 simple tips, but they're proven psychologically to be effective. And of course, sharing stories. I love when people share their stories, because sharing is caring and sharing helps healing. And that's why I'm hoping to do perhaps more of a Zoom type or a Google type meetup where we can share. And I don't want it to become a sort of free for all, but I think we need to be able to sharing stories, because in isolation, so many people living alone are obviously thinking, I'm the only person that's feeling this way. Well, you're not. And I think that's important to realise you're not alone. Writing down, of course, how you feel is really therapeutic. I found that writing about the pain of losing my son, people who shared their stories with me found that it was so therapeutic. Some people had lost babies 25 years ago, and nobody had spoken about them. So when they shared their story, and it's in my book, The Weight of Emptiness, Comfort and Hope for the Loss of a Loved One, when they shared their stories, I got lovely messages to say how therapeutic, how healing it was. So it leads me to think that this again endorses, or it just makes me know how sharing really helps people. So keep a journal. Now that isn't writing your war and peace. It doesn't need to be that. But even the positive and some of the negatives, if somebody has hurt you, you can write that down. Don't want to use swear words, but it's been a bad day and so did such and such. And then I used my ABC. I used, you know what? I can put that negative person or that negative comment into a balloon and send it off out into the air. Let it go. So it's difficult to forgive. You don't necessarily forget, but you can forgive and move on. And of course, don't hold your tears in. Sometimes people will say to me, oh, you're always so strong and so courageous. And when I gave a talk about my son, I keep myself focused and positive, but that doesn't mean I don't hurt. So I'm doing it just now because as I'm thinking about him, I use a technique, red door, blue door, which I discuss in one of my workshops. So crying is good for you. So it relieves stress. So when I've got all that confidence built up, but I come off and I'm like sobbing and whatnot. So really you need to release it. The other thing is, I'll do another wee with Leslie. There's another wee wave, whatever that means. Have a gratitude list. Please do that. If you don't have one, start one. If you have one, keep adding to it. And it might be simple like, I'm alive. I got up this morning. There's a meal on the table. I've got a roof over my head. There's so many people don't have these things. You could create a gratitude jar. Remember I talked about that way back down in March last year. Can't believe we're nearly a year on. But having a gratitude jar, write one thing down that you're grateful for and put it in a jar. And then you can open it anytime you want or need. I have post-its sometimes. I just post up. People will have different ways of doing things. So I don't want you to be... just some general advice is that in the challenging times, stop watching all the negative news. There still is, I know people want to listen to the news, but it's been so negative. So I think that find a credible source, of course. So many conspiracy theories and people talking about this and I won't do that and this will do this. Try and focus on only credible sources and maybe just listen once. I even stopped actually for a while, but I wondered whether we were in lockdown or not. I just decided if it's lockdown, I'm in. But I've not listened to lots of negative news. I don't think there's any need. We need to try and keep ourselves safe and just catch up with the news once a week. I think with the internet, it's got the good and bad side, but we've got so many, we're bombarded with things. So try and just be cautious, be careful about what you're looking at and how often. And of course, let's think, what are we going to do today? The affirmations, the ABC is, I am grateful. I accept change. I am positive. I only let positive influences into my life. And then your B for your breathing and C for your imagination. So keep using my ABC. Smile and laugh. Remember that. And of course, I think we've got to, probably I've chatted on for longer maybe this time, but I've been on a roll there. I hope that's, set you up for the weekend. So it's Passionate Friday. And I thought what we will do now is I'll do my mindfulness, a Mind Bites meditation called the Candle Flame, and I always end with a wee meditation. And there, of course, this doesn't have music, I'm just talking you through this. But if we want to do that now, we just sit comfortably. I'll just sort of settle myself, feet on the ground. You've got to have your feet on the ground. So the Candle Flame is wonderful. It just helps you to focus. It helps you to soothe and calm you. And I think we all need that. And all of the meditations tend to do this, but I quite like the Candle Flame because you're going to focus in on something. And although I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, and this is an imaginary candle flame, my Mind Bites meditation actually has a video of the candle and the flame, and you can watch it and you take yourself off wherever you want to be, and then you can close your eyes and just imagine. So for this one, I want you to sit comfortably, your feet on the ground, and then I want you to close your eyes. Now take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold. And then exhale. Take another deep breath in through the nose. Hold. And then exhale. Now with each breath you should feel calmer. Take another deep breath in through the nose. And then exhale through the mouth. Now I want you to imagine a candle flame. Look at the candle flame. Let your eyes follow the movement of the creamy yellow outer centre. Let your eyes move inwards to the centre of the flame. Let them rest there. Focus on the centre of the flame. You feel relaxed. You feel calm. Relax your eyes and just feel at peace. If thoughts come into your mind, just let them flow away. Focus again on the flame. There is only one flame. You feel calm. You feel relaxed. Take a deep, slow breath in through your nose to the count of 3. Hold to the count of 3. And then exhale slowly to the count of 3. Now you can open your eyes and just say to yourself, I feel calm. I feel relaxed. I can concentrate while remaining calm. And then you can just stretch your shoulders and yawn or whatever. Just bring yourself back into the now. So I hope that has helped calm you and set you up for the day. And again, thank you for watching and listening. It's maybe been a kind of longer episode. I did say I was going to make them a bit more punchy, but I get on a roll with some of the topics. Please send your messages in with a title. And remember, you win, you can call it that, but I think it is. You win an hour of my time coaching or mentoring. Obviously Zoom just now, or a conference call or a telephone call, and on anything you want to talk about, I'm there for you. So thank you for watching and listening, and virtual hugs to you all until Monday morning. Bye for now.